begins.
You're looking live at Pete Matthews Coliseum. Sparkman and Oxford getting set to do battle here in Game 5 of the TV24 Holiday Hoops Challenge, again presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. I'm Tommy Wood along with John Holder as we get set for this game. Should be an interesting matchup as you look at it, John. Let's talk first about Sparkman. And a lot of folks in this area may not be as familiar with the Sparkman program, but it is an outstanding program up in North Alabama.
Well, don't let the records deceive you. Sparkman in 7A, the Senators from up in Tony, right outside of Huntsville, a northern suburb of Huntsville. The team is 5-5. They lost last night by 4 points to Hazel Green. They've actually lost 3 games in a row now, but they played a tough schedule. That is one of the toughest areas to play high school basketball, especially at the 7A level up in the Huntsville, Decatur, Madison County area. And this was a team that had a rebuilding year last year. They were 14-16. But 2 years ago, this was a team that went to the Final 48 in Birmingham. As a matter of fact, they beat Carver of Montgomery in the state semifinals in what was the old Class 6A then, and then lost to Mountain Brook. And you know about Mountain Brook when you start talking big school basketball in the state. Lost to them in the state championship game, a team that year that went 29-8. So this is a very tradition-rich Sparkman team. This is a team that has had great basketball tradition for the better part of the last 30 or 35 years or so.
And you talk about that area, some of the teams that they face week in and week out, and that gets you ready for the postseason. And I think that that's what you see when you talk about Sparkman.
Yeah, when you start playing Hazel Green and Buckhorn and Butler from the city of Huntsville, Madison Academy, even though they're 3A, has the top player in the state, one of the top players in the country. They got them on the schedule a little bit later on. Bob Jones, James Clemens, you go on and on. Huntsville's Grissom, on and on, talking about the great basketball teams that are up there. This is a team that's been battle tested. Don't let the little 5-5 record fool you, that's for sure.
Speaking of a record, you got the Oxford Yellow Jackets 4-7 as they come in this afternoon. We'll check out our starters in just a few moments, but let's talk a little bit about Oxford and how their season has gone under Coach Joel Van Meter.
Yeah, the same way. Coach Van Meter at Oxford got a good solid basketball team in 6A, but again the 4-7 record, but they played a very tough schedule. Lost to Albertville a couple of times. They lost at Mountain Brook, the defending 6A state champions, probably the favorite to win it again. Lost to Hoover, lost to Carrollton, Georgia, who's got a really good team over in West Georgia. So they played a really tough schedule. They've not played a lot of local teams here in East Alabama, a couple wins over Southside, but they have for the most part played a very tough schedule, especially teams from around the state and even out of state.
John, we saw in our last game how Zach Nelson able to do so much down low at 6'5", a definite height advantage for Sparkman. When you look at their starting lineup, you've got a couple players, 6'5" Chaz Garrett, you got 6'3" Rashawn Green, 6'2" Thomas Melbert, and for Oxford, really the tallest player in the starting lineup is Dante Lauderdale, 6'1".
Yeah, it's going to be one of the things that stood out to me. I've not watched either team play so far this season, but just looking at rosters and looking at the height differential, that is going to be something that we'll be watching here to see about the inside game here. It's a good, I think Coach Van Meter, this is a good measure game. We talked about Cale Black from Geraldine. How will his team measure up in that rematch with Sachs this year? I think this is a good measurement game for Coach Van Meter down at Oxford, because they play a really great brand of basketball up in the Tennessee Valley and Metro Huntsville. Always have. It's really basketball country up in there. And I think he wants to see, how does his team match up against one of these top teams from up in the Madison County area?
Let's take a look at the starting lineup today. Again, you got Caleb Kidd, 5'9", senior guard. Jalen Moore, the junior, 5'10". He is a guard. Quarian Mason, he is 6 foot, a sophomore forward. And Jacoby McClendon, he is a 5'11" sophomore guard, as well as Dante Lauderdale, 6'1", junior forward. That is your Oxford Yellow Jackets starting lineup, brought to you by America's First Federal Credit Union. And we take a look at the Sparkman Senators starters. Brandon Miller, 5'10", junior guard. You got Landrum, 5'10", senior guard. Melbert, He checks in at 6'2". He is a guard, a senior as well. Chaz Garrett, 6'5", junior forward, down on the low blocks. And also Rashawn Green, 6'3", senior for the Sparkman Senators. Teams coming out. You see Sparkman right there. They may win the basketball shorts contest of the day.
I like those outfits. I really do. You got the gray going with the red. It's a sharp looking outfit, I think. Some folks may disagree, but I like the outfit. I think that looks sharp. And we're about ready to tip things off as we just keep the basketball rolling all day and into the evening here at Pete Matthews Coliseum.
Tip comes over our way. We'll catch it over here, and it will be Oxford Yellow Jacket basketball.
Second game in a row where the opening tip has bounced our way, Tommy. That may be a omen that we're going to have another really close game like last night.
And that's fine with me. Yellow Jacket basketball in the front court comes to McClendon. McClendon in the corner. He'll bring it back into the lane, stop, and bounce it outside to Kidd. Caleb Kidd trying to get away from his defender. Can't do it. Down underneath. Get a nice backdoor cut by Mason. He finds it for the first two for Oxford. And the Yellow Jackets go 2-zip. Sparkman basketball in the front court. You see the backdoor cut right there. Good dish underneath.
Nice cut. There was a nice pick set somewhere along the way to set up an open basket right underneath the goal. Easy basket for Oxford.
Sparkman fakes the three, will not take it, steal. And that's going to be a behind-the-back dribble, and then has it stolen away, does Mason. Had a good steal, got a little bit out of control, and turns it right back over to Sparkman.
Knocked off the foot there of Chaz Garrett with the Sparkman Senators, and fast-paced game here in the first minute or so.
Yellow Jacket basketball leading 2-0, 7:16 just underway. Good crowd in here in Pete Matthews Coliseum. Mason baseline drive, has it knocked away, and Oxford will keep the basketball. Inbound pass from Caleb Kidd, looks underneath, can't find anybody. Outside it goes, jumper is up and good. Nice shot by Jacoby McClendon. Yellow Jackets up 4-0 early.
Wide open set shot from McClendon there. He was wide open, took it uncontested. And Oxford 2 out of 2 from the field and has the early 4-0 lead. Miller
to the left side to Landrum. Back out top to Miller. Around it goes to Green. And back out to Miller. Man-to-man defense by the Yellow Jackets. Nice drive underneath. Passes up and shot will not fall. Rebound pulled in by Miller. Then has it knocked out of bounds. Point blank range for Garrett. Couldn't get it to fall. Then losing it out of bounds. Yellow Jackets take over, leading by 4.
It's like full court man-to-man pressure right off the bat being implemented by the Sparkman Senators here. Maybe a double team trap at half court trying to set that.
Kidd splits defenders, goes up, will not fall. Rebound pulled in by Sparkman. Here comes Green. Green picked up there by Caleb Kidd. He'll go left side, loses it momentarily, then a foul. They'll get a reach-in call there. I believe it's going to be against Jalen Moore. As you look right here, tried to split defenders, and Moore just reached up, got him right on the wrist. Sparkman basketball. Outside it goes to Green. Left side on the drive. Melbert can't get it. Knocked away and stolen. Here come the Yellow Jackets. On the move is Moore. Moore puts up the floater. Will not fall. And the rebound pulled in by Miller for Sparkman. In the front court it goes. That is to Melbert. Back out to Miller. Right side to Landrum. Landrum can't get his shot away. He'll bring it back outside and give way to Green. Rashawn Green, 6'3" guard. Out it goes to Landrum. Left wing to Melbert. Can't get a shot away. He'll go to the right wing. Shot is up. It will not fall. And that was by Miller. But a steal in the backcourt, and putting it up and in is going to be Green. Careless with the basketball there. Sparkman makes him pay.
There's the replay there, and we'll see just, again, not the really size advantage to get that basket, but really just the inside junk basket off the turnover. The Oxford basketball. Oxford had a big size differential, but we really have not seen Sparkman take advantage of that so far.
Looking long, now dishing it off short. And that pressure from Sparkman intense in the backcourt. And they'll get the steal. Off and running is Melbert. Melbert puts up the floater, will not fall. The rebound is pulled in, and then now stolen by Oxford, and a loose ball in the backcourt. They'll get a foul, and I believe that's going to be a reach in against Sparkman's number 2. and that is Brandon Miller.
Excellent trap over there, set right in front of the Oxford bench in front of Coach Van Meter on that last turnover by Sparkman. Really good defensive pressure by the Senators.
Yellow Jacket basketball. That's Caleb Kidd in the backcourt. Tries to get away now. Double team. Splits that. Comes into the front court. Looks across court. Finds his man too high. And it's going to be knocked away and stolen by Sparkman. In the front court. That is Miller. Splits defenders. Goes up. Leaves it short. No good. Rebound. He'll get it back. Throws it back outside. And it's finally retracted by Melbert as he's able to reel it back in. And he'll go to the left side to Landrum. Landrum gets a screen. Whips a pass to the right side. Green shot. No good. And the rebound pulled in by Caleb Kidd for the Yellow Jackets. Here's Kidd in the front court. Goes to the left side. Shot by McClendon. It's up. Iron no good. Tangle for the rebound. It's going to be off of Sparkman. And it will be Yellow Jacket basketball here with 4:30 remaining. Checking into the game for the Yellow Jackets, you got Brandon Breimer and also Zachary Lackey as they check in for Oxford. Caleb Kidd to bring it in. Looking. He'll bring it in to Breimer. Breimer in the lane, and he's going to be fouled. Gets his man in the air. Goes up strong, and he'll draw the foul and go to the line.
Yeah, the thing about it is they brought in some size off the bench. Breimer comes in off the bench, and you know, Breimer's a guy that comes in at 6'4". Lackey comes in at 6'3". You saw some of that size being a factor there, able to get a foul on the big guy for Sparkman on the inside, Chaz Garrett. You know, Sparkman has been very aggressive, Tommy, on the defensive end. They've run the floor well. They've had good looks at the basket. Right now, the thing that's haunting Sparkman is they just have not been able to get the ball to drop. They just have not been able to make any shots. One shot, and that was really on a garbage basket.
Blaze Breimer's second free throw is up, no good. And it's Sparkman basketball in the front court. On the outside it goes baseline, loses it momentarily, stolen away by the Yellow Jackets. And about to come out there running was McClendon, and they grab him as he goes by, and Oxford leading by 3. And again, you just if you're Sparkman, you just can't get anything to go in the basket.
And that's why coaches want to play in a game like this. One of the attractions of playing in this game is because when you play in an arena like this, where there's a lot of space behind the backboard, not like a high school gym, you're playing on a bit longer floor, playing in a college arena, it takes some getting used to. And I think these coaches want this experience because sooner or later in the season, if you go far enough, you're going to have to play in an arena like this.
Yellow Jackets on the attack, go to the corner. Three-point shot is up. It will not fall. And going to be Breimer going over the top of Green, trying to pull in that rebound, so he'll commit his first foul. Here with 3:52 left in the first. 5-2 our score. The Yellow Jackets of Oxford leading over the Sparkman Senators. Sparkman basketball.
Really, Tommy, neither team burning it up here. We are well past the halfway mark of the first quarter, and we've only had, what, 3 baskets made in this game?
Loose ball. Knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jacket. And it will be Sparkman ball here.
Sparkman going to bring Brandon Miller back in. He was one of the starting guards. We're going to bring him back into the game. And they'll take out another one of their starting guards, and Amos Landrum.
Sparkman basketball, and Senators bring it in. Goes off to Miller, and around it goes to Green. Green to Benson, just checked in. Benson tries to get a screen, does. Now goes to the outside, can't get away. Good defense by the Yellow Jackets. Benson, out top it goes to Miller. Miller on the drive, puts it up, will not fall, and the rebound out by Breimer.
Good
Yellow
rebound,
Jackets.
yeah.
Got a man coming from behind. He'll find Breimer across court. Then Breimer drives right side. Can't get away. Whips a pass across the court. Three-point shot will not be taken on the drive. Putting it up and in. Nice move there by Jacoby McClendon. He's got 4. And it's 7-2.
He's been pretty much the offense for Oxford, really the offense for either team in this game with 2 baskets. 4 of the 7 points, really 4 of the 9 total points have been scored in this game been by McClendon.
On the drive, it's Green. And a foul. They'll get him with a body underneath. I believe this one will go against his Lackey. And you see right here, Green on the drive, 1-on-4. Lackey goes up, gets him with a body to commit the foul.
Well, if you're Coach Jamie Coggins of Sparkman, you've not been able to hit anything at all from the field. Let's see how they do from the free throw line. Chance to make some points here. And again, just looks like it may be indeed one of those situations, Tommy, where we're seeing the team having to adjust to the backdrop, having to adjust to the circumstances here. This is not your typical high school gym, and both of these teams having some trouble adjusting, but especially Sparkman. Only one basket from the field and finally make one free throw.
Green has all of the Sparkman's 3 points. 7-3 our score. Oxford Yellow Jacket ball. Here's Caleb Kidd on the drive on the left side. Goes left side, and they're going to reach in. Going to be a holding call against Sparkman. And trying to pick up the number there. I believe the call is going to go against, well, you can choose your player there, but I believe that's going to go against 33, and that is Maurice Anderson. Yellow Jacket basketball leading by 4, 7-3. Outside it goes to Moore. Jalen Moore will give it off to Caleb Kidd. Kidd whips a pass to Breimer. Breimer looks underneath. Good pass cannot be controlled as he found Mason coming across. Mason couldn't pull it in, but Sparkman touches it last. It'll be Oxford basketball.
Same play they ran in the opening basket of the game as they found Mason inside the cutter coming on that back door cut. That time mishandled, but it goes out on Sparkman.
Inbound pass comes into Mason. Mason gives way to Kidd. Kidd sets up the offense. He'll go to the left side. Stops, spins. Outside, open three-point look. It's up. It's no good, and the rebound is pulled in by Sparkman. In the front court, off and running, and a steal by the Yellow Jackets. And here comes Caleb Kidd on the move. Outside it goes. They'll bring it back outside. No three this time. Over to Breimer. He'll launch a three. It's up good. That is Blaze Breimer. They'll say the foot on the line makes it a 9-3 lead. And Sparkman with the basketball in the front court. That is Green. Green to the corner to Miller, and a holding call going to go against the Yellow Jackets, and I believe they're going to get Jalen Moore on that reach. And subs coming in for the Yellow Jackets. That's a good look there at number 10. That is Jacob Baker as he comes in.
Jalen Moore made that last basket really for Oxford as he was responsible for the steal on the other end, the takeaway, which they converted into points on the other side.
Sparkman ball on the drive. Will step through there, and another foul will be whistled against the Yellow Jackets.
A lot of fouls in the game. 5 team fouls already against Oxford, 4 on Sparkman. A lot of traffic in there, a lot of hands. And a slap on the hand for a foul by the Yellow Jackets.
I believe that's going to be Lackey's second foul there. Sparkman basketball on the drive, almost stolen away. Loose ball, but Sparkman comes out of there with it. Out it goes to Green. James Green launches a three. Iron, no good. They tangle for the rebound. And I believe the call.
I think that's going to go against Oxford this time.
And it will be against the Yellow Jackets. So Sparkman will stay on that end of the floor.
I believe they whistled that foul on Oxford's Jacoby McClendon, number 4. Coach Joel Van Meter wanting to get a little clarification from the referee. Got that. We're back to play.
Sparkman basketball. 9-3. The Senators trail. Three-point shot is up. It will not fall. And the rebound is pulled in. Turnaround jumper is up, and it falls this time for Brandon Miller. 9-5 the score. You see him get the rebound, and nobody picks him up. He just puts in the 10-footer. Now Sparkman with a steal in the backcourt. Jumper is up, and again, same result. This time it's Landrum. Check that. That is number 12, Melbert. He gets 2, and it's 9-7. Sparkman clawing their way back into it. In the front court, it's the Yellow Jackets. That is Baker. Baker on the outside. Whips a pass back out top. That is Mason with it. On the drive, and a collision down underneath. And they'll get a charge against the Yellow Jackets. As you see, just a little bit out of control.
Good call by the officials that time. One of the things we've seen, Sparkman now just making that one basket they made. Now they've made a couple of baskets, and all of a sudden they're back within 9-7. Their defense has been playing well. Transitions game's been well. They've had good shots at the basket, but they have not had anything to fall. Seems like now it's taken about a quarter to get adjusted to the court here, and it looks like now they're starting to get that shooting touch on track.
If you're Coach Jamie Coggins, you got to be thrilled. As poorly as your team shot in the first period, you've got a chance to tie or take the lead here with a last-second shot here in the first. The three-point shot is up. It's good, and it looks like Sparkman will take the lead after one. Three-point shot that time by Thomas Milbert gives him 5. He's got half of his team's 10. You see the 3 going in there. And Oxford's lead falls by the wayside as we go to the end of one. Sparkman, the Senators up 10-9. You're watching the TV24 Holiday Hoops Challenge presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
The Christmas season stirs up thoughts of warmth, nostalgia, and homecoming. So this Christmas season, come back home to downtown Gadsden, where we offer a holiday shopping experience like no other, with unique boutiques and shops just waiting for you to walk through the door with your Christmas list. Take a break from the shopping with one of our fantastic downtown restaurants, or even hang around late and enjoy the downtown nightlife. Support your local small businesses with a holiday shopping trip to beautiful downtown Gadsden.
I got the one.
Oh no.
Fitting the tree through the door? That's feast-worthy. So celebrate with the KFC Festive Feast. A bucket of the world's best chicken, our famous sides, biscuits, and our new pumpkin cake. The KFC Festive Feast. Perfect for all those holidays between the holidays.
Good look there, Jamie Coggins, head coach of the Sparkman Senators.
3rd season at Sparkman. Of course, his first season as head coach after taking over for Luther Tiggs, who, by the way, is one of the better point guards ever played in this state. He took over from Luther Tiggs, who had a great run at Sparkman. That first year, he goes to the Final 48 and takes them to the state championship game. Not a bad first year. Took a step back last year, trying to bounce back after a rebuilding year last season.
That's what you do to put the bar up high. Go ahead and start off with a bang. Sparkman leading by 1, getting hot toward the end of that first. Lead 10-9. Senators with the basketball, drive to the right side. Another foul. This time, I believe it's going to be Caleb Kidd for the Yellow Jackets drawing that foul. Going to the line for 1-1 will be Thomas Milbert. He's got 5. 3 points for Rashawn Green, 2 for Brandon Miller for the Senators. That free throw is up and good. He'll get the second.
He did not call Milbert's name at all until about the last minute and a half or so of that first quarter. And all of a sudden, he's kind of got the look like he's kind of taken over this game for the Senators. Now makes 2 free throws there, and he's made a 3-pointer, a 2-point basket, and now a couple of free throws.
12-9 the lead by the Sparkman Senators. Yellow Jackets with the ball with some pressure in the backcourt. Bringing it up is Caleb Kidd. Kidd in the front court, tries the right side. He'll bounce it back out top to McClendon. Left wing it goes. On the drive in the lane. Will not fall. And the rebound batted out of there by Sparkman. Last to touch it is Chaz Garrett. It will be Oxford basketball.
We talked about some of the offensive woes for Sparkman. Oxford has not exactly been tearing it up shooting the ball either.
Tried to entry pass there. Going to be knocked away and stolen by the Sparkman Senators in the front court. That's going to be Miller. Miller out top to Chris Gill. Left side it goes. Melbert's got it. In trouble. Trapped in the corner. Trying to get out of there and does. Out top to Brandon Miller. He'll drive left side. Goes to Melbert. He launches a 3. Will not fall this time. And the rebound is pulled in by Gill for the Senators. Then knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. It will be Sparkman ball. Back in the game going to be Breimer as he replaces McClendon in the Yellow Jacket lineup.
Now, we don't talk about time of possession very much in basketball, if ever. Does it not seem like that for the last 2 or 3 minutes of this game it's been played on the Sparkman end? Oxford just hasn't had very many offensive possessions.
It stays there right now. The handoff Goes to the right corner, but a charge call going out of control a little bit. Brandon Miller tried to dish the ball off at the last minute. But you look at it here as he split the defenders, but the second one just stood his ground. He was out of control, and that's a charge. And now Oxford will have it and have a chance to get some points on the board.
And good job by Jalen Moore. That's the things that don't show up in the stat book, but that's things coaches love. You find a basketball player that will stand in there and take the charge, I'll guarantee you he'll be a coach's favorite. Jalen Moore, good time, good job right there, because basically that's a turnover. That's creating a turnover when you take a charge.
Caleb Kidd for the Yellow Jackets in the front court, asks for a screen and spins away from it. Now he's in trouble, has it knocked out of bounds, and it will be Oxford basketball. I'll tell you what, number 35, Darian Miller, has checked in, and he is bringing the defensive pressure with him.
This has been a very good trapping defense. They're putting a lot of intense pressure on these Oxford guards from the get-go.
On the drive, goes up, challenges the defender, and lays it in. Hangs in the air does Caleb Kidd, and he'll get that layup to fall, and he'll go to the line for a chance at three. Goes with the left hand. Look at that.
Heavy traffic. 3 gray jerseys in there and just stuck it up and in. Again, coaches teach, just give that ball a chance. If you can do whatever you can to get that ball up there and give it a chance to go in, that's exactly what happened, and a chance for a three-point play.
Good look at Caleb Kidd, the senior from Oxford there. His first 2 of the afternoon. Cuts the lead 12-11. Sparkman up by 1. Iron unkind. And Sparkman away with the rebound. Here's Green in the front court for the Senators. 1-on-3, I should say. He cannot get it to fall. Loose ball comes out of there, and the Yellow Jackets off and running. Here comes Mason. Mason's got it. Cross courts it to Moore. Moore picked up there. Asks for a screen. Gets a screen. Now goes to the right side. 3-point shot is up. Will not fall. And the rebound knocked out of there. And here come the Senators again. Here's Melbert in the front court. He'll go to the top, and that's Landrum. Landrum back to Melbert. Melbert fakes the 3, drives inside the lane, puts it up, and a delayed call there in the lane, but they're going to get a foul, and I believe it's going to go against Caleb Kidd. You see right here a lot of physicality there in the lane, and they'll get Kidd with the arm in arm on that, and it's going to be 2 shots for Melbert.
No question about that. Grabbed him on the arm there. Was a little bit wait from the official. I think he did not have a good view of it at first, and then saw that he stuck his arm in there and grabbed him a hold. And we'll see Oxford bring another new player in off the bench for the Yellow Jackets.
That is number 20, Dante Lauderdale, back in there. First free throw is no good. Second one rattles home for Melbert. He's got 8. 13-11. Sparkman up by a couple. Inbound pass comes to Caleb Kidd for the Yellow Jackets. He's trapped in the backcourt, tries to throw it long. It's going to be slapped away and stolen. Here come the Senators. 3-point shot is up. 3-pointer falls. And that is going to be Darian Miller with the triple. You see him set up outside the arc, launch it, and drain it. 16-11. Senators now lead by 5. Another steal in the backcourt. And going up and laying it in is going to be Miller. He's got 5 in a hurry. And Sparkman, all of a sudden, taking a lead here. You see the layup after the big steal. Darian Miller takes it to an 18-11 lead for the Senators from Sparkman.
Transition basketball, that's exactly what you like to see. Steals into easy points. That was an easy layup, just like you do in pregame, as we get a look at the Oxford Yellow Jacket cheerleaders. Good to see the cheerleaders. You know, they have to transition too from football cheering to basketball cheering. You know, you don't have the same cheers. You can't say hit them a lick, harder, harder. It's more like down, down, down the court. Right. Raise, raise, raise the score. So they have new cheers. So we're seeing the Oxford cheerleaders, Sachs cheerleaders, Talladega cheerleaders are here, getting ready for the next game between Talladega and Gadsden City. And there's Joel Van Meter of the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
And not to make me feel older, but a classmate of mine, that was his daughter on the cheerleader shot there. So just I don't know how he got old and I didn't, but again, you saw the Yellow Jacket cheerleaders there. 18-11 our score. It is Sparkman with the lead over the Yellow Jackets. Oxford going to lob it up and foul underneath, and I believe they're going to get Melbourne right here.
Got to go the alley-oop for Aquarian Mason inside. The pass was not the best in the world for an alley-oop, but it accomplished the job of drawing the foul. And we'll see Mason, it looks like, going to the line for Oxford to shoot 2.
Mason will go to the line, checking back in McClendon as he replaces Blaze Breimer.
Actually, they'll say 1 plus the bonus. He was not in shooting, so this will be a 1-and-1. Both teams in the bonus. 17 fouls whistled against Sparkman. Oxford still in 1-and-1. Sparkman will be in the double bonus the rest of the way with 9 team fouls whistled against the Yellow Jackets.
Mason, a good-looking sophomore, 6 foot, but a good-looking athlete in this Oxford lineup. Second free throw coming up after he hits the first. Try to cut into this Sparkman lead. That free throw is up. This one rims out, no good. And Rashawn Green pulls it down for the Senators. Front court goes Sparkman. Landrum has it. He'll give it off to Anderson. Back to Landrum. 3-point shot is up, and this time does not fall for Miller. And the Yellow Jackets come out of there with it. In the front court, you find Mason. Mason out top to Kidd. Kidd on the drive. Can't shake his defender. Asks for a screen. And now the Jackets will set up the offense. Going to the left side. Flipping a pass back out top to Moore. Moore over to McClendon. McClendon will find Lauderdale. Then out top it goes Kidd. Floater up good. Nice shot by Caleb Kidd. He's got 4. It's 18-14, but Sparkman off and running. Finding the man streaking down the floor as they find Garrett for his first 2, and the lead is 20-14.
And you can't get back quick enough against the Sparkman team, as they are really great in the transition game and really great as far as trapping on the defensive end.
Tries a little over the head shot there. McClendon does, will not fall. Sparkman with possession. In the front court are the Senators. Miller's got it. He'll go around the outside. Over it goes to Rashawn Green. Green for Sparkman. Tries to lose his defender. Cannot do it. Amos Landrum's got it. And Landrum gives way to Anderson. 3:44 left here in the first half. Sparkman up by 6. Tommy Wood along with John Holder. TV24 Holiday Hoops Challenge. Shot up, no good. Loose ball on the floor. And Oxford comes out there with it, but steps on the line. A battle for it. Mason took a little bump, steps on the line, and it will be Sparkman basketball.
Another turnover by Oxford. You know, Oxford had the early lead in this game very, very early on. Both teams were trying, if you just joined us, both teams were really trying to find that shooting touch. Sparkman has found it here in the second period. Oxford not so much, but Oxford had the early lead, but since then it's been pretty much Sparkman's basketball. Not dominating, but they've been in control.
Shot up, air ball no good. Rebound pulled in by McClendon. Jacoby McClendon on the drive, splits the defenders, goes up, leaves it short, no good. Sparkman out of there with it, but they're going to throw it away. Try to get off and running that time. They cannot connect on the pass. And it's going to be Oxford ball. They trail by 6, 20-14. And it will be Oxford ball in the backcourt. That is Caleb Kidd. As he'll come across the timeline, picked up there by Justin Benson. Lobs it to Breimer. Breimer whips a pass underneath. Loose ball stolen away by the Senators. Here in the front court, that is Benson. Benson back outside to Landrum. Sparkman with the basketball. Benson fakes the 3, will not take it. Back out top, 3-point shot up and good. That's Rashawn Green as he will drain the triple. You see him set the feet. Nobody gets out there quick enough, and he's going to drain it and take the lead up to 9 for the Senators.
This has been a very balanced team. You look, Miller's got 4. Melbert in the game with about 5. Garrett's got 2. You got Rashawn Green coming in there with about 5 points in the game. Darian Miller, 5 points off the bench. It's been a very balanced scoring. It's about everybody that they got on the team with about 5 or 6 points as the Oxford Yellow Jackets trying to get the fans excited here. But the problem has been for Oxford, I think, has been really handling the defensive pressure, not necessarily in the half-court game, but just getting the ball into the half-court. The pressure on the full-court press has been really tremendous by Sparkman, especially by the guards.
And then once they get it into the front court, you're looking at getting a good look at a shot. It seems like a lot of the shots have been forced here in the first half, and you're just not seeing Oxford get those open looks at the basket.
Yeah, and the fact too that Sparkman early in the game was just, quite frankly, no other way to put it, they were just not shooting the ball very well at all in the first, say, really 5 or 6 minutes of this game. From late in the first quarter, now we're 2:46 to go until halftime. Sparkman has shot the ball much better, and they've got some of those guys untracked, and so it's been a fact where Sparkman pretty much has dominated the second quarter, both offensively and defensively.
Oxford basketball. They got to go the length of the floor again. Inbound pass comes to Lauderdale. Lauderdale to Breimer. Now they'll hand it off to Kidd, and they'll clear out for him. Kidd comes in, goes to the left side. As he will go down the lane, stops for about a 10-footer up. It will not fall, and the rebound is pulled in by the Senators. Off and running in the front court is Benson. Benson, left corner, Green. Iron will not give him the shot. Rebound is up. Power move up and in. And that is going to be Garrett. He's now got 4. You see right here just a power move by Chaz Garrett. And he's able to get that to fall. Steal in the backcourt. And another 2. That is going to be Justin Benson, as he will put in after the steal, and the lead has ballooned to 13. It's 27-14. Sparkman with the lead, and a foul as they come across the timeline, and I believe they're going to get Landrum on a reach there. But Sparkman.
Turnovers off the press, Tommy. That's really been the story here in the second quarter. The Sparkman press has generated a lot of turnovers, and Sparkman, where they could not turn those turnovers into points in the first quarter, they're doing that in the second quarter. That's why they've gone from being down in this game at one point 7-2 to now being up in the game by 13 at 27-14.
Caleb Kidd with an opportunity to cut into the lead. He does after hitting that first free throw. Kidd has 5 here in the first half. Second free throw coming up. Same result. It's 27-16. Sparkman lead at 11. Rashawn Green with the ball in the front court for the Senators. Trying to get a screen. Goes to the left corner. On the move. Outside it goes. Can't get a shot away to Green. Green. Cross court pass. Open jumper is up, and it's good. That is Landrum, as he hits the 3, and it's 30-16. Just an open look there, and he's able to get it to go in. Caleb Kidd for the Yellow Jackets, bringing it up. Picked up by Landrum. As Kidd will go to the left side, gets a pick, stops, whips a pass to the left side. Breimer can't get a shot away. Outside it goes to Jalen Moore. Moore gets a screen, tries to bounce it back out top. That's going to be Kidd with it. Kidd looking underneath, can't find anybody. They'll bring it back out top. That's Breimer. Man-to-man defense again by Sparkman. Breimer on the drive, has it blocked, but a charge will be the call. Setting up underneath is number 21 right there, Justin Benson, as he goes in, sets the feet. Breimer with the charge, and it will be Sparkman basketball.
Benson doing a good job that time of holding his ground once again. And this thing is very quickly starting to get away from Oxford just a little bit. They've got to have a good defensive stand. They get the steal there. Let's get a turnover by Oxford.
In the front court is Caleb Kidd. He'll put up about an 8-foot jumper and falls. Kidd has been the offensive star for the Yellow Jackets here in the first half. 30-18, 12-point lead. Just a little over a half minute remaining here in the first half. Looks like Sparkman going to let the air out of the basketball here. They'll slow things down. They'll go for the final shot here in the first half. Benson put in some good minutes here in the first half, especially defensively. Cross-court pass. 9 seconds on the clock. Green on the drive, whips a pass outside. Three-point shot is up, will not fall. Rebound pulled in. 2 seconds. 1 half-court shot is up, and it will not fall for Caleb Kidd. And that is the end of the first half. 30-18. Sparkman on top of the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and we'll try to get a word with Coach Joel Van Meter as we will check in with Chase here momentarily as teams make their way to the locker room. Again, a 12-point lead for Sparkman. Let's go sideline to Chase Robinson.
Coach, a little bit of a slow start. What's going to be the message to your team at halftime?
Well, mainly is for two players to step up and play like they're capable of and to rebound the basketball, handle the pressure. If we can get it past the first trap, I think we can get something on the back end, but we can't. Guys aren't coming back to the ball, and we're not handling our press very well at all.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
All right, Coach Joel Van Meter. I think, John, a little bit eager to get in the locker room as well to talk it over with his Yellow Jackets.
Well, sometimes it's not hard to tell what you need to do, and obviously handling the pressure, especially as he said, that first trap that's set, they have two very good guards defensively for Sparkman, and if they can get past that first trap, that half-court trap, that's been a big key. But they have not done, as Coach Van Meter said, a very good job at all here in this first half of handling the pressure, the full-court pressure, especially by the Sparkman Senators.
You see the Talladega cheerleaders right there texting everybody, inviting them to come on over here to Pete Matthews Coliseum. They'll be playing in the nightcap against Gadsden City a little bit later on. We're at halftime of Game 5. Sparkman leading Oxford 30-18. You're watching the TV 24 Holiday Hoops Challenge presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
Okay, it'll be just a second.
Wait. With a new checking account, it takes like 5 to 7 business days to get a debit card. It's 2014. Nobody waits 5 to 7 days for anything. I mean, I got things to do. Am I supposed to go home and sit in a dark room for 5 to 7 business days? This is...
Here you go.
unbelievable.
When it comes to barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. With locations in Anniston and Rainbow City, folks from all over East Alabama love Dad's.
But I've been eating at Dad's ever since Dad's has been here, I guess. I don't know, up at by the old Kmart. So Dad's is a great place, and I've always said, they got the best sauce around. Dad's is a frequent stop, at least once a week.
For dine-in, takeout, or tailgating, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Visit us today in Anniston or Rainbow City.
Back at Pete Matthews Coliseum, campus of Jacksonville State University. Tommy Wood along with John Holder. Halftime score, you see it there. Sparkman leading over Oxford 30-18. And John, you look, if you're Oxford, I think you got to be glad that Sparkman got off cold shooting in the first period.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because, Oxford had a 4 or 5 point lead early on because Sparkman just could not find the basket at all. Late, about a minute or two to go in the first quarter, that's the point in time where they were able to start finding the shot, getting some shots to fall. And since that point, it's been Sparkman's basketball game as they came from an early 5 point deficit, now a 12-point lead, led by as many as 14, and kind of got the sense there late in the second quarter that Sparkman's starting to kind of control this basketball game.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And the first period, it seemed like they stayed with 3 points forever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they hit a couple of outside jumpers. It really opened up once a couple players got hot. And you saw this Sparkman team really take control here in the latter stages of the first half. I think if you're Coach Joel Van Meter, what do you say to your team? I think that, you're not getting open looks. That's the biggest thing.
And you really need to get the ball in, as he pointed out, you need to get the ball into the half-court offense. Right now, they're having trouble just getting the ball even to half-court. A lot of junk turnovers. We saw a lot of easy baskets on the other end just because the guard play is so good by Sparkman. They're creating a lot of turnovers before Oxford can even get the ball to half-court, much less into the backcourt so that they can set up their half-court offense. So I think the message is to the guards of Oxford. They've got to take care of the basketball better. They've got to make better passes. They've got to handle the basketball better. As he said, he thinks there's some opportunities once they get into their half-court offense. But as he pointed out, you've got to get into that. You've got to get into the half-court offense first before you can get there, and that's what they've not been able to do.
When a team relies on full-court pressure, such as what Sparkman is doing, if you never make them pay for that press, they're going to stay in it the whole game. Oxford is not able to transition, like you said, in the half-court. They're not able to get any fast break points. They're not able to really get anything going, and the Sparkman defense seems to have taken them all out of sync.
Yeah, the one thing, too, that is in Oxford's advantage, if they can get into a half-court game, they've got some folks from Sparkman in a little bit of foul trouble, and that's an advantage they can have in the second half, but they've got to get it into that half-court game.
Looking at some of the scoring leaders, leading all scores is going to be Thomas Melbert for Sparkman. We talked about him. We didn't even talk about him most of the first period. Then in the latter stages of the first, he starts hitting a couple of shots. He's got 8 points in the first half, 6 for Rashawn Green, 5 for Darian Miller off the bench. He had a big 3 there as well. And also you've got 4 points for Chaz Garrett, 2 for Benson, 3 for Landrum, and 2 for Miller. For Oxford, led in scoring by Caleb Kidd. He's got 8 points. No one else even close. 4 for Mason, and also I checked that, 3 for Mason and 4 for McClendon, and 3 points for Breimer off the bench as well. So you look at that, you've got a guy like Melbert who has really got it hot toward the end of the first period and really carried over to the second.
Yeah, Melbert was a guy, we didn't talk about him a whole lot early in the game, as you mentioned. We didn't talk about him a whole lot in the back half of the second quarter, but in the middle there, it was basically all Thomas Melbert. He got all of his points there late first quarter, early second quarter.
Getting a good look at some of the folks in the crowd. You've got Talladega getting ready for a shot with Gadsden City to wrap it up. And John, let's talk a little bit about the crowds here at Pete Matthews Coliseum. It's been a fun day to be a part of this.
Yeah, and for the first annual event, I think folks have got to be well pleased. One of the things in basketball is the teams usually, you get into a day like this, we have 6, 7, 8 games. This happens at the county tournament. It happens at the Northeast Regional. It happens at the Final 48 in Birmingham. Is you tend to get behind. It's just hard to keep games on schedule. This has been as good as I've ever seen it, keeping the games going and having games running relatively on time. That's been one of the things I've been impressed with. And again, the variety of competition we've seen here, seeing teams all the way from 1A through 7A, seeing a wide variety of styles of play. And I think this is going to be an event that is going to hopefully be here, kind of a holiday tradition. A couple weeks before Christmas time, football season's over, basketball hasn't kicked into full swing yet. It's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of like the kickoff, even though it's not. A lot of teams kick off and tip off in November, but to me it's kind of like you're kind of kicking off or tipping off basketball season in East Alabama with this event.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's going to get bigger and better. We look forward to it. We're going to take a timeout. Again, your halftime score, 30-18. Sparkman leading over the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and you're watching the TV 24 Holiday Hoops Challenge. It's presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
When it comes to barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. With locations in Anniston and Rainbow City, folks from all over East Alabama love Dad's.
So I've been eating at Dad's ever since Dad's has been here, I guess. I don't know, up at by the old Kmart. So Dad's is a great place, and I've always said, they got the best sauce around. Dad's is a frequent stop, at least once a week.
For dine-in, takeout, or tailgating, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Visit us today in Anniston or Rainbow City.
Once again, the Oxford Yellow Jacket cheerleaders trying to spur their team on and their fans. They need a big third quarter here to get back in it, trailing by 12, 30-18, as Sparkman on top here at halftime.
Yeah, just looking for something, some momentum to try to break Sparkman's momentum. Try to get back into this thing slowly but surely. Only down by 12 points. Good chance to get back in it. It'll be interesting to see what Oxford does differently. I would imagine from his comments that he made to Chase Robinson here at halftime, I would imagine he challenged a couple of players in there, probably a couple of his ball handlers, maybe a couple of his guards, about taking care of the basketball. So we'll see what kind of adjustments that Oxford made to handle the Sparkman pressure. And I really think, as Coach Van Meter talked about, that's going to be the key to the second half. If they can handle that pressure, Oxford can get back in this thing. If they can't, probably not.
That's it. It's going to be a big third period here at Pete Matthews Coliseum. Folks, don't forget these games are going to be shown a lot through the holiday season. And also we want to mention that you can check them out on demand, TV24.tv, and check out more. And John, another word about Monday night, a huge night for TV24.
Yeah, Monday night, not too late. We'll feed you a great meal from KFC. You'll see the best football players by position. No honorable mentions, no second teams. This is first team, top guys, regardless of classification and location. This is the top 24 players and the top coach in East Alabama this football season, 1A through 7A. Cherokee, Etowah, Calhoun, Cleburne, Talladega, St. Clair counties that we're going to have for you. And Dan Mullen, head football coach of the Orange Bowl-bound Mississippi State Bulldogs, flying into Oxford, and he will be our special guest speaker Monday night at Word Alive.
Looking forward to that. Again, you can find out more at TV24. Yellow Jackets with the basketball on the drive. It will not fall. Taking it strong to the hole. Caleb Kidd couldn't get it to fall. And it will be tapped out of bounds off of Sparkman. Touch last. But Kidd attacking the basket right there. Yellow Jackets have it. Kidd looking. Finally dishes it off in the corner. And the Yellow Jackets again trailing by 12 here.
Oxford, Tommy, with a good opportunity right off the bat here. First possession of the second half to work that half-court offense and see if they can get a basket here.
Baker in the starting lineup for the second half. On the drive, dishes to Lauderdale. Back outside. Three-point shot is up and good. That is Jalen Moore as he gets in the scoring column for the first time. Down the front court. Oxford with a rebound. Chance to cut into it even more. In the front court, spin move. Shot is up, and does it roll in? No, it does not. Rebound by Sparkman, but a steal, and then a little dipsy-do underneath the basket will not fall. And a foul in the backcourt. Over the back, going to be the call against the Yellow Jackets. Oxford with a couple of good looks that time to try to get deeper into this lead. Couldn't get them to fall.
Coach Van Meter, this third quarter starting off exactly like he wants. Get the basketball, get a three-point shot, get the rebound on the first offensive possession by Sparkman, and get two real good looks at the basket on the second possession on the offensive end.
Green, baseline drive, dishes underneath, nice look. It will not fall, but Green will tip it up and in. Good follow by Rashawn Green. He's got 8. It's 32-21. You see right here, it just falls short, but there is Green elevating above everybody and laying it in.
Excellent job controlling the boards by Sparkman. Second chance, third chance opportunities on the offensive end. And Oxford going to make another substitution now in the game. Zachary Lackey, we saw him come in early on in the first quarter. We'll see him bring some more size back in, a 6'3" junior forward.
Jalen Moore goes strong to the hole, draws a foul, so he'll go to the line for 2, misses the first. You see Lackey coming in, also Justin Benson for Sparkman. Second free throw coming up for Moore. His free throw is up, and this one too falls off. And the Senators away and running. Here's Benson in the front court. Hands it back outside. Loose ball momentarily. And then it comes over here to Melbert. To Green, baseline. Throws a pass in the corner. Back out top it goes. Three-point shot by Benson. Up and rims it home good. That is Benson's 5th point of the afternoon. It's 35-21.
Sparkman matching their largest lead of the game back up to 14. There's more of that full court pressure, but Oxford does a good job this time, Tommy, of breaking that and now getting maybe a basket at the other end, but they can't convert again. Two good looks at the basket, exactly what Coach Van Meter wanted.
Baker couldn't get it to fall. Lackey couldn't get the follow. So here's Sparkman. Shot up, no good, and the rebound by Baker. Baker in the backcourt for the Yellow Jackets. Gives it off to Caleb Kidd. Kidd swipe from behind. And here come Sparkman in the front court, and that's going to be a charging call. Out of control, and credit Baker again for standing his ground. He takes the shot by number 23 Garrett, just out of control, and Baker takes quite a tumble, but he will, again, as you said, get the turnover.
Yeah, and Baker that time, that is one of the hardest things to do in basketball. You know it's coming. That guy's bigger than you. He's coming full force at you. And to stand in there and plant those feet and take that charge, outstanding play by Jacob Baker.
Baker 5'4". Garrett 6'5", by the way. Oxford ball, whips a pass underneath to Lackey. He has it knocked away. And it will be Oxford basketball. Good look that time.
Just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger.
You think.
6'5" versus 5'4". All the credit to Jacob Baker.
14-point lead for the Senators. 35-21. Inbound pass comes to Moore for the Yellow Jackets. As he'll bring it around the outside. Drive, puts up the shot, will not fall. Or check the pass, actually. But it will fall for Dante Lauderdale.
Yeah, hook shot. We don't see that a whole lot. First points of the game for Dante Lauderdale with a hook shot in the lane. Oxford back to within 12.
Sparkman basketball baseline, goes back outside. Out to Benson. Around it comes to Melbourne. And a foul going to be called underneath. I believe this foul is going to go against the Yellow Jackets. As you look here, you see Melbourne on the drive, and this time Baker unable to get in front and set those feet. They'll get him for a block.
Lackey brings some good size in there off the bench, as does Breimer when he comes in. Both those guys 6'3", 6'4" range, trying to get some size inside.
Long air ball shot by Sparkman. Rebound controlled by the Senators. Out top it is to Rashawn Green. Looking for a pick. Finally gets it. Goes left side. Tell you what, that guy goes strong to the hole and lays it in. Green, an excellent ball handler at 6'3". He's got 10. It's 37-23. Pass to Mason. Check that to Moore. Moore in the corner to Baker. Baker, good dish underneath. Another good pass. And putting it up is Lackey. I tell you what, two excellent passes right there, John. When you go inside to Moore, he dishes it over to Lackey, who couldn't finish, but he'll go to the line for two.
Oxford did a good job breaking the press that time as Moore came up helping out on the press. There was a double team trap deep into the backcourt here, right underneath their own goal. And they did a good job of helping out on the press, and as you said, a couple of good passes to set up some good shots, but can't make the free throw. And Sparkman continues to lead by 14.
Breimer checking back in for Baker for the Yellow Jackets. Free throw up, and this one no good as well. Sparkman comes out of there with it. Here comes Green in the front court. Gives it off to Melbert. Melbert over goes to Benson. Green. 4:09 remaining here in the third. Three-point shot is up, and it is good. That is Justin Benson. He's got 8. Couple of threes.
Corner of the game. There's one left him wide open. Set shot. Just nailed it from deep in three-point territory. Sparkman now, Tommy, with their largest lead of the game now at 17.
Jackets need a bucket here. Outside it is to Moore. Moore to Kidd. Kidd, a little two-man game. Gives it on the right side to Moore. He'll go baseline outside. Breimer, 3. Up, iron, no good. And the rebound controlled by Sparkman. Here come the Senators. Cross court, nice steal. That is Caleb Kidd with a steal. It's 1-on-3. He'll challenge him, put it up, and it will fall. Caleb Kidd goes 1-on-3 and able to get the bucket there. You see right here, spin, and then goes right back up with the right hand, banks it home. And it cuts into that lead. It's 40-25.
Great play by Caleb Kidd. First, he intercepted the pass, not just a steal. He intercepted the pass, grabbed it out of midair, and then able to go in and challenge 3 bigger, larger players, get the ball up, and get the basket to fall for Oxford. And Oxford still, though, having some trouble scoring. That's been the thing, and you have to credit the Sparkman defense, Tommy, not just full court, not just the full court pressure, but also in the half court. They're very good there as well.
Just not able to get Oxford still not getting any open looks. And you see the way that the ball movement is for Sparkman. They're able to get an open look pretty much every trip down the floor. Whether the shot falls or not is a different story. But again, they're getting good looks at the basket, whereas Oxford seems to be more of a one-on-one game. Not really getting that ball movement I'm sure that Coach Joel Van Meter wants.
I tell you what, the defensive, we talk about those guards from Sparkman, and you start talking about Brandon Miller and Amos Landrum, and those guys really applying a lot of pressure on the press. But in the half-court game too, Tommy, we're seeing them really putting the heat on those Oxford guards and just not letting them get into that offense.
Folks from Sachs sticking around, checking out some basketball here. Been a fun day here at Pete Matthews Coliseum. Hopefully games, this will become a an annual event. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of it here in the first ever. Again, thanks to America's First Federal Credit Union being our banner sponsor throughout the day. Sparkman basketball leading by 15 as they'll bring it up. Landrum gives it on the right side to Green. Green picked up by Kidd. Let's see Sparkman delay it just a little bit. They're spreading things out. Drive down the middle, goes to the left side. Benson will launch a three and it'll fall. That's his three, his third triple of the ball game. Justin Benson, three, all of them in the second half. Oxford ball. Breimer with the ball in the front court. Trying to find a shot, can't get it. Gives it off to Caleb Kidd. Kidd to Moore. In the corner it goes to Breimer, will not take the shot. Comes outside, has it knocked away and almost stolen. Amos Landrum very quick to the basketball.
And for whatever reason, they've just left Benson wide open. There he is deep in the corner. Nobody gets to him. Uncontested shot right in front of the Sparkman bench. As you said, Tommy, three-pointers all here in the third quarter with still 2:26 to go. And all three of those he's been wide open, and he's nailed them. And Sparkman now with their largest lead of the game, now up to 18 at 43-25.
Oxford basketball in the front court is Kidd. Kidd to inside it goes to Lauderdale, then over to Lackey. Lackey power move will not fall. They battle for it, and here comes the Sparkman Senators out of there with it. On the run, laying it up. It will not fall, but he's going to be fouled. That time it was Jalen Green taking it the length of the floor. Could not finish, but he'll go to the line for two.
Foul's either going to be on Moore or Lauderdale. Let's see who it goes upon.
It was going to be Moore, I think.
I think so, coming from behind there, knocking him down.
Free throw up and good. Jalen Green with his first points of the afternoon. 44-25 our score. Second free throw is up. It's in as well. And a 20-point lead now for the Sparkman Senators. Oxford basketball.
Looking to set that trap, and here they go. Trying to set it. They've got him pulled up, and now there's the trap. They finally get it out of there, but good job by Sparkman. They do a good job of disguising that, Tommy. It looks like it's a full court man-to-man, but as soon as that guard, they funnel him over to one of the sidelines, and the other guard pulls over, and then they are tenacious in setting that trap. Sparkman does a fantastic job of getting their guard setting that half-court trap.
Foul on a Sparkman defender there as they found Breimer. Now it's underneath to Lauderdale. He'll draw the foul underneath the basket. This is going to be Jalen Green as you look at it here. Lauderdale gets him in the air and nowhere to go except on top for Jalen Green. Oxford basketball underneath their own basket, trailing by 20 with 1:53 left here in the third.
Green comes out. Chaz Garrett goes back in. So we have another whistle. We're going to have another foul called on the inbounds. A hold going to be called on Sparkman. So two quick fouls in a row on the Senators.
They'll go with Rashawn Green on that one. Inbound pass comes to Lauderdale. Three-point shot up. Will not fall. Lauderdale gets the rebound. He'll give it back outside to Moore. Moore on the drive. Outside it goes. Another three-point shot is up. This one will fall for Caleb Kidd. He's got 13. You see him set the feet nicely out there from about 20 feet away, and he drains the triple. 45-28.
Well, like we've seen with leaving Benson open that time, they left Kidd open, and he nailed the wide open three. Big basket there for Oxford to cut it down below 20.
Yellow Jackets, though, have to come up with a defensive stop if they're going to get back in it. That won't do it there. On the drive is Maurice Anderson for his first two. Now the Yellow Jackets on a drive, put it up, and a foul.
As you would expect, Tommy, when you get into 6A and 7A, Oxford the 6A, Sparkman the 7A, once you get into this type of basketball at this level, you expect to have deep benches. And we have seen both of these teams play well over 10, 11, 12 players, something like that, in this game.
At the line, Caleb Kidd has got 13 this afternoon, now with 14 after draining that one. Trying to get some folks to join him in the scoring parade for the Yellow Jackets. No one else with more than 4. Second free throw is up. That one rims in. 47-30. Sparkman up by 17. Final minute here in the third, as the Senators will bring it up. Outside it goes. Now the Jackets trying to have a little trap action on the baseline drive. Dishes it off. Bounce outside. Three-point shot is up. This one will not fall. And the rebound by the Yellow Jackets. Moore off and running. Gives way to Kidd. Kidd goes up strong. It will not fall. Sat up there forever. And Kidd's going to come out of there with it. He'll put up the floater. It will not fall again. This time a battle for the rebound. And there's going to be a foul. I think Lackey touched it last, and if there was a foul, it could have been on number 42, and it was. You see him down underneath, bodies all over the floor, and Lackey just a hand across the face there as he went for the basketball, trying to save it in bounds.
Landrum took a hard tumble that time.
So Sparkman ball with 32 seconds left on the clock as they come into the front court, leading by 17 as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Bringing it up is Landrum. Man-to-man defense from Kidd. Sparkman looks ready to go for the final shot here in the third. Left side it goes. Three-point shot is up and good. That was Anderson. A long shot from Kidd will not fall, and that is the end of the third. Sparkman up by 20. After you see this three-pointer here, draining it from deep is Anderson, and that lead has grown to 20 points after three. Sparkman leading Oxford 50-30. You're watching the TV 24 Holiday Hoops Challenge, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
It's time you got a car as reliable as you are. And America's First has made that more possible than you might think.
Only $1 down is all you need to get a car at Pokey Brummer Auto Sales in December. We're having $1 down December, just $1 down, and you can get a car just like this beautiful little red Sunfire at Pokey Brummer Auto Sales. Hey, remember, credit's never a problem at Pokey Brummer Auto Sales. All you need is $1 down, and we can get you riding.
Pokey Brummer Auto Sales, 201 Highway 78 Oxford and 529 South Quintard, Anniston.
Oxford Yellow Jackets got to try to come back from a 20-point deficit here as we open up the fourth. Sparkman, after a cold shooting first, have really exploded here this afternoon at Pete Matthews Coliseum.
And defense has been their calling card as well. They've done it by defense, creating turnovers, putting a lot of pressure on Oxford and converting a lot of those turnovers into points. Sparkman led by a point at the end of the first quarter, 12 at halftime, and now extending that even further to 20 now as we begin quarter number 4.
Maurice Anderson had a big three at the end of the third. So he'll dish it off to Brandon Miller. And over it comes to Chris Gill. Gill gives way to Garrett, then a cutting move there. Not able to fall for Hill. And then batted out of bounds. It's going to be Oxford basketball. That time Hill made a great move to the basket. Couldn't get it to fall. And now Oxford with a chance to cut into the lead, down by 20. Caleb Kidd, one-handed pass to the baseline, then it's knocked out of bounds. McClendon tried to make the underneath pass, couldn't get it to go. But Oxford still has possession. McClendon, 5-footer, is blocked, and they're going to get a foul. That time Garrett went up and challenged him. They'll say he got him on the hand.
I think Garrett went in that time, and I think he blocked the ball clean, but then the follow-through is where he slapped him on the arm and drew the foul that time.
McClendon at the line. Free throw is up. It will not fall. Oxford with a chance to cut into the lead with the clock stopped. They can't get the first one to fall. Second free throw is up, and this one too falls off no good. Sparkman with possession. In the front court is Anderson. And he'll give it off to Brandon Miller. Good pass underneath to Garrett. Garrett leaves it short though. And the rebound, last touched by Sparkman. It'll be Oxford ball.
If you're Coach Van Meter, as we talked about at the beginning of this, one of the things in playing this, you get to get an early opportunity to play here at JSU. The county tournament looming in about a month or so. And you also get to play somebody from up in that real tough basketball area up in Huntsville. You get to see a Sparkman.
Nice dish underneath, passes it back to Lauderdale, puts it up, it's blocked. And Sparkman comes out of there with it. Good extra pass there, but Lauderdale unable to get the shot off. And now a reach-in call in the front court. I believe this is going to go against Oxford, and I believe Caleb Kidd will draw that foul.
Yeah, Kidd on the reach-in as Oxford's guards trying to set their own trap in the half court, and a foul that time.
50-30 our score. 6:40 remaining. Sparkman basketball.
Both teams kind of going cold again here, Tommy. Neither team has scored here. We played a minute and a half here in the fourth quarter, and neither team has scored a point.
Pass stolen away. Here's Mason in the front court for the Yellow Jackets. He'll put it up, leaves it short, no good. Gets his own rebound. He'll go up and get fouled. Mason follows his own shot, so he'll go to the line for two. You see right here, he battles for the rebound. When he goes up, they just get him across the arm.
Sparkman now, that is their 9th team foul. So Oxford will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. So 2 shots coming here. First one rolls in and good. Last 6:18. Oxford will be in the double bonus. Only 5 team fouls whistled against Oxford this half. So still a long way from Sparkman being in any kind of bonus situation as we move through the home stretch of this game.
Second free throw coming up for Mason. He'll put it up and it will fall as well. He's got 5. It's 50-32. Sparkman in the front court. That's Gill. Gill tries to go baseline. Going to be trapped there, in trouble. Has it knocked away, and last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Tell you what, Oxford trying to turn up the defense here in the fourth period as well.
Hey, you got to be impressed by the hustle. They're down by 18 with just over 6 minutes to go in the game. No quitting this bunch. They're playing as hard as they did in the first quarter.
3-point shot up, no good, and they tangle for the rebound. Last touch by Sparkman. It'll be Jacket basketball. So like you said, the defense starting to cause some problems for this Sparkman offense. Also, you're seeing Sparkman kind of slow things down, and that does not seem to be their strong suit. I think they like pushing it a whole lot more.
There's that trap
again. Long
again.
pass. Good pass underneath. It's up and in. Great pass from Kidd to Mason. And it's 50-34.
That is the most unorthodox way to break that trap, but that's the best way. An incredible play by Kidd. I had no idea he was going to try for the alley-oop there, which basically a half-court alley-oop is what it turned into.
Good pass underneath. Sparkman on the move. Shot is up, no good. Jackets with the rebound. Here's McClendon. Off to Caleb Kidd. Kidd bringing it across. Pass to the right side. Now on the drive. Tries to dish it outside. It's stolen away. Sparkman with a steal. Kidd gets a hand on it. Then has it stolen away again. Yellow Jackets off and running. Here's McClendon. He'll go up and lay it in good. McClendon lays it in. It's 50-36. And a timeout called for by Coach Jamie Coggins. On the breakaway there. McClendon couldn't get the steps right to lay it home, to dunk it home, so he'll just lay it in with a little smile there. And it's 50-36. So the Jackets defense starting to turn to some offense and paying dividends.
It really is, and I think a good timeout there by Jamie Coggins. His team has not scored here in this fourth quarter. They were up 50-30. Oxford on a 6-0 run. They played almost 3 minutes and have not been able to generate a point. So Oxford back to within 14 now. This is really the best run that Oxford's been on, if you want to call it a run. This is the best run they've been on since the first quarter of this game. I want to remind folks that as we take a look at the Oxford bench there and Joel Van Meter and his team, I want to remind folks that coming up still one more game. Kind of our marquee game here. 2 local teams going at it here in East Alabama. Talladega Tigers, Coach Chucky Miller, going to be taking on the Gadsden City Titans, 2 awesome high school basketball programs. That game coming up with a tip very close to around 7:30. I want to remind you too about our Pigskin Roundup. There's somebody taping the game right there with an iPad technology. I want to remind you of our Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet coming up on Monday night at Burton Live in Oxford. And we also want to remind folks that just around the corner, we've mentioned it a couple of times, is we will have coverage for you once again of the semifinals and finals of the Calhoun County basketball tournament. That will also be right here at Pete Matthews Coliseum. January 17th through the 24th is going to be the dates for the county tournament this year.
Sparkman basketball again have yet to score here in the fourth. Oxford defense turning it up, and they get a loose ball again. They'll battle for it, and Sparkman comes out of there with it. Anderson's got it, tries to pass it, going to be reached in. They'll get a timeout. Again, Coach Jamie Coggins not really pleased with the offensive execution here in the fourth period, John.
Yeah, I mean, that was 14 seconds of play, and he takes another timeout. So that tells you he's not happy. Back-to-back timeouts within 14 seconds. So whatever that he told them in the first timeout, apparently they didn't get it, and he's calling another timeout to try to make sure that that message is clearly delivered, as we see Coach Coggins in there now. Very serious look on his face, talking to his basketball team. I think that's the standard. You know, Oxford comes down here. This is kind of a road game for them coming down here in Oxford's backyard, traveling 2 hours. They're up by 14 in the fourth quarter, less than 5 minutes to go. That's a high standard there. He's talking to his team like they're down by 14.
4:56 remaining. Senators basketball. We'll bring it in. Rashawn Green gives it to the near side to Melbert. Back out top it goes to Landrum. Green. Again, they'll slow things down. Oxford trying to come up with a stop for that three-pointer. Yellow Jackets get the rebound after the miss. In the front court, it's McClendon. Three-point shot is up. Iron no good. Rebound pulled in by Mason. Mason gives it off, and there's going to be a call on the inside. Officials will discuss that. And you look right here.
And all kind of traffic, kicked it outside. There's an contact there. I'm not exactly sure if that was where the call was, but the call was against Sparkman. So it will be Oxford at the line. That's going to be Quarian Mason making the first free throw. And not so quietly here, Tommy. We see Coach Coggins over there on the Sparkman bench concerned. This 20-point lead has been cut to 13. Oxford right now on a 7-point run, a 7-0 run here in the fourth quarter.
With Sean Green in the front court, or back court I should say, for Sparkman. Now bringing it across is Melbert. Out top it goes. And again, you're seeing Sparkman slow this game down as we're under 4 minutes. Almost a steal. Caleb Kidd's got it. That's going to be a jump ball. And
possession arrows Oxford.
Wow.
It's amazing. Sparkman couldn't hit anything in the first quarter for the most part. They have not hit anything here in the fourth quarter. In between, playing some pretty good basketball, but the first quarters and fourth quarters have not been very good to the Senators. Again, we are more than halfway through this quarter, and Sparkman has not scored a point here in the fourth quarter.
Three-pointer here by the Yellow Jackets cuts a 20-point lead in half here in the fourth. On the drive, floater up, will not fall. They rebound, and that's Green's got it, but he's going to have it knocked away and stolen. Jalen Moore with it for the Yellow Jackets. Tries to pass it, going to be out of bounds. Mason had cut to the basket. Moore throws it behind him. It goes out of bounds.
Miscommunication. Mason was going baseline. Kidd thought he was going to stay outside, and he just threw the ball into the Oxford bench over there.
Lauderdale checks in for the Yellow Jackets. Full court press by Oxford. Ball in the backcourt. They'll find Green in the middle of that press. Comes in the lane, dishes it off, laying it up and in. Nice move that time. And Garrett finishes it off for his 6th point of the day.
That is exactly textbook, Tommy, of how you break a full court press.
Then a steal by the Sparkman Senators in the front court, passes it off. And again, it is Garrett laying it in, and he's going to be fouled. So just like that, a couple of baskets by Garrett. And now he'll go to the line. And you sit there and look at it to the right side. Challenge. Garrett is checking in at what, 6'5". Tallest player on the floor, and he lays it in. It's 55-37. As Garrett will finish there. Now the clock with 3:05. Yellow Jackets. The lead is back to 18. Just like that.
Just excellent. That's running the court. That is the way the first time that you break the press, and then on the turnover, that is the way that you generate points off your own press. Good job by Sparkman of running the floor in the full court game.
Rashawn Green leading the effort on that. Handling the basketball again, has shown that all day. Jackets with the basketball. They'll lob it up. Nobody home.
Went to the well once too often that time. The other one was actually harder than that one, but he threw that one way high. Andre the Giant couldn't have caught that one. That was probably 7 feet, 8 feet in the air.
Exactly. Sparkman with the basketball. And an 18-point lead. Senators bring it up. That is Thomas Melbert. On the drive. Baseline. Now they'll stop. Trap coming back out top. Good dish. Back out top to Melbert. Eating some clock here are the Senators. Oxford able to come up with defensive stops when they need to. Loose ball here, and it's going to go out of bounds. It will be Oxford Yellow Jacket basketball. Good defense that time. Solomon Shadricks able to put the pressure on to get the turnover.
Shadricks in the game for the second time. Saw some play in the second quarter. Now coming in here in the fourth quarter for the Yellow Jackets.
Caleb Kidd goes to Shadricks in the corner. Shadricks whips a pass across court. Back out top it goes. Kidd's got it. He'll drive. Corner it goes to Shadricks. Trapped in the corner. Gonna have to get rid of it. Stops. Good dish underneath. Put it up and in. Nice look. And finishing it off is McClendon, who cut to the basket. 55-39.
Nice cut to the basket by McClendon. Nice pass by Shadricks. Shadricks in a lot of trouble there, being double teamed and able to see him cutting to the basket and make that pass for the assist.
Rashawn Green goes to the basket and draws the foul. He'll go to the line as he will step up there for Green. He's got 10 points this afternoon.
I'll be impressed by the way Oxford has played this game. Down by double digits, minute 39 to go, down by 17, and still playing really, really hard. And tell you what, these two guards, the guards from Sparkman, really the whole team though, their full court pressure defense is as good as you're going to see.
Shot is up and it's good. Green with 12. 57-39 our score. Oxford trailing by 18. Corner it goes. Shadricks up, no good. Rebound is pulled in, put up, and doing some board work there is McClendon. He'll go to the line.
There's the replay.
Shot
heavy traffic
up.
once again. Every shot being contested by Sparkman. Draws the foul.
McClendon, it's good. He has 9 in the game. 57-40. This is the second. Sparkman comes out of there with it. Gets a steal in the backcourt though, putting it up and in. That's going to be Mason. He's got 2 and a timeout called for. Yellow Jackets take it down 15. You see right here, just picking the pocket and laying it up and in.
Good play. Picked it on the right side and then got it, knocked it out on the right side, picked it up on the left side and laid it up and in. Balanced scoring for this Sparkman team. Hard to select who might be an MVP in this game.
Yeah, you look at it, Rashawn Green's got 12 now. 11 for Benson. 3 of those triples in the second half and 9 for Garrett. So that's the way they've been led here in the second half. And I think that you look at that, those 3 guys right there, they have really gotten it done and have built this 15-point lead with 1:19 remaining. Jackets, as you said, playing hard down the stretch, though. They are really trying to turn up the heat defensively. Good steal in the backcourt. That is going to be by Moore. Jalen Moore goes up. He's going to leave it long. A foul. And he will go to the line for 2. Jalen Moore, 3 points here this evening. And he'll go to the line for 2 as that time after the steal just goes up. Sparkman trying to draw the charge. Actually, they will go with the charge.
Go the charge. See Sparkman bring in number 10, Chris Gill. And he is 5'4", and I think that's a legit 5'4".
Sparkman with the ball. Tries left side. Brings it back outside. 3-point shot is up, and it will be short. No good. Rebound by Caleb Kidd. Kidd off and running for the Yellow Jackets. Comes down to the corner. Now bounces it back outside to McClendon. McClendon with a long shot up. No good. And the rebound knocked away, and I believe they'll get McClendon over the back there.
There's any doubt about that when McClendon ran all over him in trying to get to that basketball.
57-42 our score, but you see loose ball, and McClendon got a hand on it, but he got a body on the Sparkman defender just right over the top of 5'4" Chris Gill. He'll go to the line. Gill yet to score in this ball game. Only a couple players for Sparkman have not scored. He gets in there. Only players Braxton Wright and Maury. Anthony Hill, the only 2 players that have not scored for this Sparkman lineup.
That's the thing about this Sparkman team. You ask somebody, well, who's the guy you have to stop on this team? Who's the star of this team? And there's really not one.
Rebound pulled down nicely by Green. Then he couldn't finish as it knocked out of bounds. It'll be Oxford basketball.
Coach Coggins, I think that's what you want when you don't have a one guy that the other teams can focus on and shut down. Pretty good sign. You got a pretty good team.
Oxford with the ball. Bringing it up in the front court. Closing in on a half-minute remaining. Kicked ball. As Moore tries to cross court it, it's kicked. And it will be Oxford ball. 34 seconds left on the clock. Sparkman going to get the win here this afternoon. Shot 3-pointer up and no good. And it is rebounded by Sparkman into the front court. And another foul going to be called and going to the line for Sparkman. Darion Miller, as he will go to the line. Miller had 5 in the first half, yet to score in the second. 58-42. 16-point lead with 20 seconds left. And Miller's free throw is up, and it's off the iron, no good.
Talladega cheerleaders making their way down through the stands here and getting ready for our nightcap. 6 games we've had today, starting at 12 noon, and we're getting ready for a great game between 5A Talladega and 7A Gadsden City. A lot of talent on the floor there. 2 great high school basketball programs coming up in just a few minutes.
Oxford on the move, comes in the front court, has it knocked away and stolen. Sparkman's got it. They'll bring it in the front court and be able to just run the clock out. Tries to pass it underneath, almost knocked in the basket. Yellow Jackets have it with 3-2, and Caleb Kidd will drive and will not finish. 58-42 going to be the final here this evening, as the Sparkman Senators will get the win here at Pete Matthews Coliseum. And while we're getting Chase Robinson set up with Coach Jamie Coggins and our player of the game, John, I'll tell you, I appreciate the invite to come up and spend a couple of games here being a part of this afternoon.
Tom, is a great, I think just a great event. You know, it really makes the timing of this really makes a lot of sense. As we said earlier, you know, football season is over. Super 7 was last week. And then you've got basketball and the holidays, tournaments and things like that are coming up between Christmas and New Year's. But this was really the perfect time to have this. Not a whole lot going on, and you're able to bring a lot of folks into JSU and play here at the Coliseum. And we've got Chase Robinson. He's standing by with Jamie Coggins and also our MVP of the game.
Coach Coggins, got to be pleased with your team tonight in this win.
Absolutely. You know, we've had a run here where we've lost 3 tough games, 2 of them in overtime. And I'm just really proud of the kids for bouncing back tonight. I thought we were solid tonight, played well, and to come on the road in this atmosphere, just really proud of them.
Talk about getting to play in this gym in this atmosphere.
Well, this is really awesome because down the road, it gives us that experience if we do make it down to Wallace State and Birmingham to play in an open arena like that. I mean, we're just ecstatic about it, and so real thrilled for our kids to be able to play in this atmosphere.
All right, now for our America's first Federal Credit Union player of the game, Rashawn Green. Rashawn, talk about kind of this game for you and your team in this win.
I feel like we came out and we played hard. We started off on a fast pace. The last 3 games where we have lost, we haven't really started out fast in the first half. And this, I feel like we started fast in the first half of this game. I just feel like we played good overall.
Congratulations, you get our $25 Visa gift card. Congratulations on our player of the game. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot, Chase. On the sideline, again, a victorious Coach Jamie Coggins, and also our player of the game, Rashawn Green. He had 12 points. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will run down the stats and some of the leading scores in this ball game. Final score, 58-42. Sparkman with the win. You're watching the TV24 Holiday Hoops Challenge presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
The Christmas season stirs up thoughts of warmth, nostalgia, and homecoming. So this Christmas season, come back home to downtown Gadsden, where we offer a holiday shopping experience like no other, with unique boutiques and shops just waiting for you to walk through the door with your Christmas list. Take a break from the shopping with one of our fantastic downtown restaurants, or even hang around late and enjoy the downtown nightlife. Support your local small businesses with a holiday shopping trip to beautiful downtown Gadsden.
All the way, ha, 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 jingle bells, jingle all the way, put your jingle in it.
Surviving the office holiday potluck? That's feast-worthy. Celebrate with KFC's new Loaded Potato Bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes and gravy, corn, hand-breaded and diced extra crispy tenders, topped with our new bacon cheese sauce, green onions, and 3-cheese blend. Now in our $5 fill-up meal. KFC, the perfect food for those holidays between the holidays.
Back at Pete Matthews Coliseum, 58-42. The final score, it is Sparkman with the win over Oxford. Looking at your leading score in the ball game, as we mentioned, 12 points for Rashawn Green, 11 for Justin Benson, 8 for Thomas Melbert, and also 5 for Maurice Anderson. Several players with 3 and 4. For Oxford, led in scoring by Caleb Kidd with 15. Quarian Mason also in double figures with 10, followed closely by Jacoby McClendon with 9. But John, I think it's something you can build on if you're the Oxford Yellow Jackets and Coach Joel Van Meter, a team that never gave up despite the scoreboard.
Exactly right. And I think, again, playing that different team, playing somebody from up in the Tennessee Valley, from the Huntsville area, also is relating to the county tournament coming up in about a month. You've had a head start on some of the other teams in the county by playing a game here this year. And then I think Coach Coggins from Sparkman made an excellent point in his post-game interview with Chase Robinson, talking about, hey, we're in the Northwest Regional, so we go to Wallace-Hansville, but that's an open arena like this one is, and it gives your team a chance to play in that. We saw in the early going of this game, I think Sparkman for most of the first quarter was having trouble adjusting to the depth of the backboard and playing on a college court. Now, if they're fortunate enough to make it to Wallace-Hansville, to the Northwest Regional, they will be in that situation. They'll have been here before, and I think that's where it pays off. Instead of having a first quarter in the regional where you're stone cold, now you've had guys, this is just like playing at Jack State. Those guys know what it's like to play with an open arena, and I think that pays dividends for Sparkman as they go down the road. I think that's one reason they're glad to be here and schedule this game.
Sparkman with a big win, 58-42 over the Oxford Yellow Jackets. More basketball comes your way next. It's Gadsden City and Talladega coming your way next on the TV24 Holiday Hoops Challenge presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.